In 1999, two stories were unfolding, and no one knew they were about to collide. One is the story of a cultural juggernaut returning after a 16-year silence. The other is about a beloved brand slowly losing its way. This is the story of how Star Wars saved Lego, but not in the way you think. Lego built their empire brick by brick. But by the late 1990s, the cracks were starting to show. The patents that had once protected their signature design, gone. Competing brands were flooding the market with copycat bricks. And to make matters worse, all those building toys were fighting for a smaller market, as kids were getting pulled away by screens, stories, and licensed toys from their favorite cartoons. For the first time, Lego's core business started to stall. So, what do you do when your once perfect product starts to lose steam? Let's call it a pivot. Throughout the 90s, they tried everything, adopting an outside the brick mentality. Theme parks, watches, clothing lines. Check out this commercial.
Needs a hero. Every hero needs a special power. In Galador, it's glinching. You can glinch to change form. Glinch to combine powers. Glinch to save Galador from Gorm. It's a power like nothing in this dimension. Galador, each sold separately.
My gosh, I feel like I'm going to regret this, but if you think Galador deserves its own episode, put Glinch in the comments. Clearly, Lego tried anything on their quest for the next thing. More parts, more products, more categories. Unfortunately, that lack of clarity led to overwhelming complexity. And then for the first time in their more than 65-year history, Lego posted a loss, and not a small one. Things were looking bleak. Meanwhile, Star Wars was on fire. Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, was set to premiere in May 1999. It had been 16 years since the last Star Wars film. Fans camped out in sleeping bags. Entire theaters sold out. No, not for the movie, just to see the trailer. In a time before streaming, people bought tickets, watched 2 minutes of trailer footage, and then walked out before the actual movie started. Star Wars wasn't just a movie, it was an event, a cultural earthquake with enough force to shake Lego into something they swore they would never do. In 1998, Lego signed its first ever licensing deal with, you guessed it, Star Wars.
I too!
The rebels need your help. Build us more ships.
Lego and Star Wars join forces for the first time, so you can build authentic Lego X-Wings and Y-Wings. Only you can help Luke and the rebels defeat Darth Vader and his TIE fighter and save the galaxy.
You did it! You saved us!
Lego Mania! Lego Mania!
The new Lego Star Wars collection, each set sold separately.
It was a big shift, and when the sets hit shelves in 1999, the numbers were wild. Sales were more than 500% above forecast. In the US alone, Star Wars sets brought in $130 million, nearly 10% of Lego's total revenue. And more licenses followed fast. Harry Potter, Mickey Mouse, even Winnie the Pooh showed up in Duplo. From the outside, it looked like Lego had found the answer, but on the inside, things were still breaking. Star Wars didn't fix Lego's business. It didn't simplify operations. It didn't clarify who they were. What it did do was reveal something they'd almost forgotten. The brick still works. It wasn't the solution yet, but it was a clue, a reminder that Lego wasn't beyond repair. They were just pulled in too many directions, more stretched than
Galador.
Turns out, even the right move can be wrong when you're doing too many things all at once. By 2003, everything caught up with them. Lego was losing money fast, burning cash, and on the verge of collapse. So in 2004, they made another bold move and brought in a new CEO, Jürgen Vignutstorp. And let me tell you, this guy wasn't sugarcoating. One of his first presentations opened with, "We're on a burning platform, we are running out of cash, we likely won't survive." Under his leadership, Lego got ruthless about focus. They cut the number of elements in half, sold off the Legoland parks, simplified everything, and most importantly, they went back to the brick. More than survival, Lego was rediscovering its identity. Star Wars didn't work just because it was Star Wars. It worked because it invited kids to build and live their favorite Star Wars moments with Lego. They'd always made spaceships. Now you could make the Millennium Falcon. They'd always had castles, and now you could build Hogwarts. Licensing was a way to connect their core, play, creativity, and imagination to worlds people already cared about. The story helped, but the system, the brick, was still the star. And that is what saved Lego. Today, Lego is thriving. They make billions in revenue. Licensed sets like Star Wars, Marvel, and Harry Potter make up nearly half of their product line. Adults, which were never a focus before, now make up over 20% of Lego buyers. And yes, I'm definitely doing my part. So, what's the lesson from Lego? Knowing your core helps you build on great ideas without getting scattered. Or as their CEO once said,
you need to find out what's the essence of that brand. You have to stick to that essence and go deep into the essence instead of expanding.
if you know anything about Lego today, you probably know that they eventually went back to doing pretty much everything that almost ruined them. Movies, clothing, theme parks, video games, all of it. So why does it work now? What changed? When things start to fall apart, our instinct is to try everything, to chase shiny objects and say yes to anything that feels like progress. But growth doesn't come from saying yes to everything. It comes from saying yes to the right things and having the clarity to say not yet to the rest. Star Wars was a catalyst that reminded Lego of who they were. It proved to them the system still worked and helped them refocus their energy around what they do best. And once they got that right, they were ready to thoughtfully build everything else. And now I'm curious, what's your favorite Lego collab? Let me know in the comments. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. I'm Melina Palmer, and until next time, remember to be thoughtful. You should watch another video. There's one on my channel. Come check it out.